there was an incident with you in April 2017, going to the Spurs game. Can you elaborate a bit more about what happened there?
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that.
I bet you did.
Yeah, so no, I come out of the ground, and after the game, Spurs had beaten us. Horrible.
Yeah.
And we went to film. We normally filmed outside at White Hart Lane, and we normally film outside there with no problems because they lock off the road. Oh, listen, anybody...
Well, normally they lose, so there's nobody around.
Well, you know, if anybody's been to that game, they'll know that it's a very, very hostile environment. You know what I mean? Fans get beaten up. It's one of the only games you go to where that still happens, right? Because the two clubs have sets of fans on a match day hate each other. My next door neighbour is a Tottenham fan.
Oh, really? Okay.
We speak brilliantly now. I bet you any money when the North London derby comes out, right, we won't be talking.
You're not going outside.
Yeah, so listen, I come out of the ground, we went to film, the police and the steward said no filming today. I said, why? Why not? We always film. They said no filming today. So listen, we always adhere to the law. If they say no filming, we say, okay, cool. Yeah. So we just decided that what we'd do is we'll go back down to Finsbury Park, which is by the Emirates, and we'll film down there. So I said to the police guy, I said, what I'll do, because I looked at the end of the road and I could, you know, by this time, most of the Arsenal fans have gone. Yeah. And I looked down the end of the road and all I could see, my cameraman is filming this, right? He was there as well, so I'm sure he remembers. Yeah. All we could see were hundreds and hundreds of Tottenham fans. And obviously, I'm a face that's quite recognisable to them, right? So I said to the police, I said, listen, can I stay here until they've dispersed and then I'll go? I go, if I walk down there now, that's going to be madness. And they said, no, you got to go. I said, listen, do you understand what I'm saying? I said, they said they don't care, walk.
Okay.
So
wow,
so I said to myself, wow.
So
I started walking down. I started walking down. I remember I had a coat, it had a hood on. I was thinking, should I put my hood up? I was thinking, that ain't even worth it, man. They're still going to know who I am. So I got down to the end of the road. I walked round the corner, starting to walk up. I think it's called Park Lane, where there's like a pub on the corner, which makes it even worse. As I walk round there, trying to sort of blend into the crowd, some guy just walks up and goes, oi, ain't that Robbie? That's Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV. And then they just surrounded me.
Oh, wow, okay.
And at first, they were just... It was
banter.
Yeah, they were like, singing Robbie, what's the score and things like that. But then you started getting some, as you do sometimes at football, you get these little guys at the back. The little coward, do some little coward moves, try throwing coins at me, having a go at me, effing and blowing at me. One guy, you know what I mean, racially, you know, said, you black thing. That's what got me mad. I was like, what? Yeah. Then somebody threw like it was like some sort of thunder cracker or something like that. Yeah. I was like, bloom! I was like, weird. What's going on now? Wow. And then like these police surrounded me. And they go, one of them goes to me, why did you walk down here? I said, are you mad? I said, you told me to come down here. Your guys told me to come down here. And they go, no, we've got to get you out. And they all had helmets on. Where they put their visors down. And I'm thinking, I'm thinking, I ain't got no helmet, I ain't got no visor. I see the coins coming over, tung, tung. Yeah. Right, and they said, right, they go, we've got to move you to one next section. Right, we've got to get you out of here. They said, well, kettling, they got this phrase, they say they kettle you. So they took me, and they took me out, right? They moved me down to one area with loads of police vans. All the Tottenham fans followed me. Oh, wow. So
how long did that whole process last for then?
This was going on for about, how long, 5-10 minutes? Longer. Yeah. And then they took me down to where these police vans are, and then the policeman said to me, he goes, right, get in that van. I said, what? So I ain't getting in no van, have I been arrested or something? Okay, talk to them, not over there. He said, get in the van, the only way they're gonna go is if you get away. I said, I'm not getting, because all I could do, I was look down the end of the road, and I could just see pure Tottenham fans with their phones out like that. And I'm thinking, anyhow, I get in this van now. I know how the internet works, right? I'm like, it's going viral, Robbie arrested. So I'm like, nah, man, I don't want my parents seeing that. You know what I mean? I go, listen, man, I ain't going. So I said to the police, I ain't getting in no van. And he said, he went away. And then the fans are still at the bottom of the road. And then he come back and he said, right, get in that van now or you're nicked. So I thought, boy, this man's getting serious now. I better just don't do what he says. So I got in the van.
Yeah.
And then when I got in the van now, he come in and he actually was a sergeant. And he actually apologised, to be fair to him. He said, oh, he goes, I'm sorry. And he goes, but I had to get you out. He goes, the only way they're going to go, right, is if you get in this van. So I said, okay, fair enough. And then he goes to me, he goes, my son's an Arsenal fan, can I get a picture?
Okay, so I'm going to switch now to ask a couple of questions about the team and things that have happened in transitioning the team.
Yeah.
So Santi Cazorla and his departure, do you have any?
Sad.
Yeah.
Sad, man, because it's a player that, you know, all Arsenal fans love.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's a brilliant player. You saw the decline of Arsenal.
Yeah.
Real bad decline over the last couple of seasons was when he come out of the team.
Yeah.
Because he used to have so much control in the middle of the park. You could give him the ball under pressure, he'd keep it. He played very deep. He could control that ball and then move the ball forward. Yeah. When he went, we didn't have that no more.
Yeah.
And that's when, if you notice,
but in terms of the nature of how he left and the fact he didn't.
Yeah, and then, you know, that Achilles injury, horror injury, and, you know, I'm so glad to see that he's back playing.
Yeah.
So it's a guy that I've met actually a few times, and he's very, very nice guy. Always got time for people. And, you know, I'm just so pleased that he's back playing football. Scored the other day for Villarreal. Yeah. And that's great to see. But it's a shame, you know, because he was a fantastic player.
Hopefully he gets a testimonial at some point, you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if these players need testimonials.
It would be nice because he expressed.
Yeah, it'd be good to see him come back.
As well, the fact that he never.
It'd be good to see him come back and play.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. You've seen Emery's change in the way that Arsenal sort of play now and playing from the back. Any thoughts on the way that we, you know, that insistence of playing from the back? Are you comfortable with it now? Or?
I was comfortable from it from day one, because even though people are like, get the ball forward, what are you doing? Kick that ball.
I think it was more to do with Czech and the fact that they didn't have confidence in Czech.
Yeah, but listen, even when Leno the other day at Fulham, I saw some guys like, get it forward, because there's some people that get into a panic as soon as the ball's passed back to the keeper. Yeah. But this is if you look.
Well, we've had years of self-destruction in the back, though. I mean, you talk about the Birmingham game. Was it Obafemi Martins that scored the? Yeah. And I remember that guy when he played at Inter, and he hurt us then, and then he came back. When he came on as a sub, it broke my heart.
Lightning quick, man.
Yeah, but
I just feel with Unai Emery, I like what he's trying to do. All the top teams now play out from the back.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he's like, this is the way I want to do it, and I'm sticking to it. And us fans, we've got to have patience with that, because this is what he's trying to build. When Pep Guardiola first came in at Man City, he was doing a similar thing.
Yeah.
And they were getting caught out. Remember, he's had to go and get about 2-3 goalkeepers to, in the end, get that way of playing going. Yeah, so I'm happy with Emery.
Do you think the fans will give Emery a chance? I mean, I personally, the fixture list has been sort of kind to us because we got 2 big games out of the way. Defeats, yes, and we kind of expected that, and there wasn't enough time to kind of criticize Emery. And then on the back of that, we've had this string of victories. Yeah,
listen, there's tougher games to come for Unai Emery. Yeah. However, you may say that the kind fixtures, but last year we were losing those fixtures.
Yeah.
We were winning them at home, but away from home, we were losing. That game against Cardiff when we were winning and then they brought it back to 2-2, I could have seen us losing that last year.
Yeah.
Fulham equalising just on the stroke of half time. Last year, I could have seen us, you know, then going on to fall apart in the second half. Newcastle away, we lost there last year and we were winning 1-0, fell apart. And basically for the last couple of seasons away from home, we've been absolutely dreadful. First thing he's done so far is he's gone away, he's got wins away from home. Yeah. Right, you know, so for me, you know, I'm taking it, you know, those as positive steps. There are tougher games to come. I think we played really well against Chelsea, actually. Yeah. Probably better than some of the games we won. But we just didn't take our chances. So, listen, I think the big test coming up is that one against Liverpool at home. Okay. I'm going to be really interested to see what tactics he uses.
What team he puts out as well.
I just got the feeling that he's not going to do what Arsene Wenger did and like try and stand toe-to-toe with Liverpool. I can see him saying to the fullbacks, don't bomb forward. Let's be a bit more conservative in that game.
Counter-attack, you think?
So far, he's done a very, very good job.
We've been accused of not having leaders within the club, especially in the starting 11. We've not had Cost because he's been injured. So who you think
I'm not
stepped
sure
up?
I'm not sure if he's a leader anyway. He's a good defender, Koscielny.
But do you think you've
he's
seen...
too quiet to be the captain for my... He should not be the captain in my eyes anyway.
Okay, but have you seen anyone sort of... Because there's a lot of rotation within the squad.
Yeah.
Do you see that we have a couple leaders now within different...
Yeah, well, you know what, not necessarily leaders in Tony Adams leaders that are shouting and thing, but I think there's some players now that are becoming leaders on the pitch. I think Lacazette is becoming a leader of the line up front and a real leader on the pitch. I think Torreira is showing leadership qualities.
Would you say Torreira's a new Vera? That's what people are saying.
Well,
I think since
it's too early to start calling Torreira Vieira.
Yeah.
I know the song's similar, but it's too, you know that's
when Vieira left, we lacked.
That's too early. Don't you know?
Yeah, we lacked
but
that
Torreira, I've been very impressed with.
Yeah, well, he that tenacity and that chasing and that activity in the midfield, we lacked that for a while.
Yeah, and you know, and I like what I've seen with Torreira. Okay. I like what I've seen with. You know what? All the signings so far have worked.
Okay.
You know, and I was worried about some of those signings, but Leno's looks like a top keeper already. Yeah. I know we've only seen him in a few games, but I really like what I see. Torreira, definitely, you'd say that looks like a very good signing. Socrates, who a lot of people doubted, including myself, has looked very, very solid.
He's made Mustafi a new player as well. So
how many goals have we conceded from corners and things like that?
Yeah,
they're winning a lot of those aerial battles and things like that. So he's looked like a good signing. You know, Guendouzi.
Yeah, Gazidis when he left. Your thoughts in terms of how that happened and what? Because there's been a lot of backlash about Kroenke and the way that he's managed, and Gazidis was the voice. Removing him now, do we have any sort of connection or, you know, a place to sort of vent our anger or hear what the club developments are? Because they've gone a bit more of a top end structure, and it's protected him now.
Yeah, well, you know, the problem is Gazidis has gone. Really surprised me.
Yeah,
worries me slightly that he's like willing to walk away from it all, maybe he's thinking that maybe AC Milan's a better proposition. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you can argue that he did a great job off the pitch, doing deals and that. But on the pitch, you know, some of the players that we signed and some of the players that we lost over the years under his reign was not good enough. So, will it be a great miss? Who knows? I don't think, as far as personnel on the pitch is concerned, it won't be. But I am very worried about the structure of Arsenal at the moment, where you've got the owner of the club owning 100% of it.
Yeah.
That worries me. He doesn't have to do no more AGMs. He doesn't even have to answer or say anything to the fans. And this guy over the years has already been quiet, even when he used to have to come and speak at AGMs. Yeah. He didn't even say anything then. So I can't see how that's going to change. Okay. I hope it does, but I can't see. I think if anything, it'll get worse. Well, it worries me a lot, that does.
Well, the most notable signing under his reign, Ozil. Your thoughts on him as a player, because he's a Marmite type player. Some people see him as a unnecessary luxury. Some people see him as
I love Ozil.
I
love Ozil, but he needs to do more.
Okay.
You know, because to me, I look at Ozil, I'm like, you've got everything that a player like Hazard and De Bruyne has got, right, in ability.
Yeah.
But you don't show it week in, week out. And, you know, I'm like, don't let your Arsenal career finish without you at least having one season where you did it every single week. And that's the challenge to him, I think.
I've got two more questions. Mm-hmm. One relates to Ramsey and the fact that, after that one, the goal he scored week, the fact that his contract's been allowed to run down to the end, which is a repeating problem.
Another thing, Gazidis thing again. You know,
do you think
him, Danny Welbeck, how have we allowed their contracts to run down? I was doing my transfer shows in the summer, and I said, sell Ramsey. If he doesn't sign a new deal before the last couple of weeks of the transfer window, we have to sell him and we have to get somebody else. We didn't do that. We've kept him. Contract's not been done now. He'll probably walk away in January for like 15 million or leave at the end of the season for nothing. It's an absolute joke.
Yeah.
Welbeck's contract's running out as well.
Yeah.
Again, he can just walk away or he can sign for someone in January. Listen, I just think that the transfers in the past have been appalling, and that's why I'm pleased that new people have come in.
Yeah.
And I hope that they're not going to let this
right.
sort of things happen in the future, because it's just not, you know, how many more?
Yeah, I understand.
Alexis Sanchez, Robin van Persie, and these are always our best players.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not happening to the fringe guys, you know, so, nah.
No, that's fine. Final question. Where do you think we'll finish this season?
Top 4.
Okay.
Which is, I said at the start of the season that I felt that we could get into the top 4.
Any silverware in terms of that as well?
Who knows? You know,
Yeah.
I think the main priority for us has to be getting into that top 4, back into Champions League. And they've got a chance.
He sees the UEFA Cup as the route, really, so...
I don't think you can depend on that. Okay. We look at last year, we've done brilliantly in that competition, then all of a sudden, whoop, in drops Atletico Madrid. And the same thing could happen this year. That's the problem with that competition. It's just a joke competition as far as I'm concerned, where a team can drop out of the Champions League into it. So, you know, I wouldn't even look at that if I was him. Okay. I mean, obviously treat it seriously, but the main thing is finish high in the league, because you'll get the fans right on side. Get in that top 4, the fans will be like pumped, and then we can go again for next season. And I think, you know, Man United are faltering. Tottenham, I think, are faltering as well. They're still a good team, Tottenham. Yeah. But they didn't spend. They've got stadium problems and that. You know, we've got to try and take advantage of that. Keep consistent, keep winning, you know, as many games as we possibly can, but stay consistent, stay in the hunt, and I think we could get into that top 4.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, Robbie, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for your time.
Big up Trinidad.
Yeah, big up the Trini Gunners. And
I've never been there, you know. I'd love to go there.
Yeah, welcome for Carnival. I mean, the Trini Gunners
group. Yeah, well, boy, that's what everyone says, Carnival, man.
Yeah, and they've actually extended an open invitation for you anytime you want to come, because we do a lot of charity stuff over there.
When's the Carnival's like February, isn't it?
The Carnival next year is March, first weekend.
March?
Yeah. So if you got some cash on you, spare cash.
I might have to make that trip.
Yeah, look at your diary and try to make that trip.
Yeah, I heard it's a dangerous trip going to Carnival.
Yeah. Anyway, Robbie, pleasure.
Nice one, man. Thank you.
No worries.